I am in complete panic right now. My heart is pounding violently inside my chest. My breathing is fast and frantic. I rush into a small closet inside the boarding house corridor, trying desperately to remain absolutely silent. Out there, she is searching for me, the landlady, the woman who owns this boarding house. Terror is wrapping around my mind, choking it, leaving me unable to think of anything else except survival. A faint light from the hallway leaks through the crack of the closet door. Through that narrow slit, I can see her shadow sliding past. I had just witnessed the horrifying scene she caused. Right next to my room, she was holding a huge knife. She stabbed over and over again into my neighbor, Emily. Every single stab was strong, merciless, and precise. She did not stop there. She slit Emily's stomach open. Blood burst out, thick, crimson red, soaking the floor. I had to bite down hard, grinding my teeth, to stop a scream from escaping my mouth. She carved Emily's body apart, piece by piece, cutting flesh in chunks like a true monster. Even more terrifying, she drank Emily's blood, as if satisfying some grotesque thirst. The worst moment of all, when she took Emily's heart in her hands. She raised that blood-soaked heart up high, letting the last dripping streams flow into her mouth. I could see it. Emily's heart still beating faintly, the final few beats before death. A horrifying image that froze my spine. Seeing that sight made my entire body shiver. Fear overwhelmed me. My hands and feet trembled uncontrollably. Yet I forced myself to stay quiet, clapping my hand over my mouth, forcing my breath to grow softer, lighter. If I made a sound, she would find me, and then she would kill me. I crouched inside the tiny closet, my body shaking and cold, my mind endlessly replaying the gruesome scene, my hands still trembling violently, beyond control, my thoughts filled with dread and despair. I had no idea what to do, how to escape her, that cold-blooded woman I never expected. Her name is Edith. She is the landlady of this boarding house, an old woman, outwardly ordinary, with nothing remarkable about her, except for her sharp, chilling eyes, always making people uncomfortable. When I first moved here, I never imagined I would face someone like her. I am a student, currently studying at a university not far from here. Renting a room at this boarding house made it easier for me to travel to school. That was the reason I moved here. And I've been living in this place for 3 months. I still remember very clearly the first day I came. Edith greeted me so warmly. "Hello, child. I'm Edith, the landlady here. You came to rent a room, didn't you?" She smiled with such friendliness. A smile that now, when I think back, makes me shiver. "Yes, ma'am. My name is Kichi, a student at East University. I am looking for a place to stay to make studying easier," I answered, trying to keep my voice calm and polite. Edith led me to check the room. "Your room is on the second floor, very airy and quiet. I assure you, you will feel comfortable here," she said, her tone gentle and reassuring. I followed her, noticing everything looked fine. The room was tidy and clean. It had all the necessities: a bed, study desk, wardrobe, and a large window letting in natural sunlight. Edith explained further. Yet when I looked around the entire boarding house, I felt something, a strange gloom. The boarding house was empty of people. No laughter, no conversation, no sound at all. Not a single sign that anyone else was here. I couldn't help but ask her, "Excuse me, ma'am, why is this place so empty? I don't see anyone at all." Edith smiled as she answered, "Everyone here minds their own business. They don't talk much. You will get used to this quietness. Actually, it's good for you studying, isn't it?" I nodded. Yes, what she said made sense. But still, the gloom lingered. Yes, perhaps I'll need some time to get used to the silence, I said, trying to reassure myself. After speaking with Edith, I felt calmer. I began to unpack my things, arranging them to fit the room. The room really was convenient and had everything I needed. I set up my desk, wardrobe and personal belongings. When everything was finally in order, night had already fallen. I washed up, relaxed, and collapsed onto the bed. After a long, exhausting day, somewhere along the way, I drifted into deep sleep. The next morning I woke up and looked at the clock. It was 6:12. I got up, did my personal things, and prepared my stuff for school. When I opened the door, I saw the room next to mine was also open, and there she appeared, a beautiful girl. Her name was Emily. You must be new here, right? Emily asked, a bright smile across her face. Yes, that's right. My name is Kichi, I replied, feeling happy to finally have someone to talk to. You live here too? Asked. Yes, I've lived here for more than a year. I'm Emily, she said, her eyes warm and approachable. You moved here for university, didn't you? She asked. Yes, I study at University X. Do you study there too? I asked, hoping to have a new friend at school. Yes, I study there as well. That's great. Then we can go together, Emily suggested. Perfect. Let's go to school together, I said, excited at the thought of having a companion. Of course, I'd love that. Emily agreed, her smile even brighter than before. On the way, we chatted happily. Felt as if we had known each other for a long time. What major are you studying, Kichi? Emily asked. Computer science. And you? I answered. I study psychology. My major is quite fascinating, she said, her eyes shining with passion. That really does sound interesting. I've always admired people who study psychology. They have the ability to understand and help others deeply. I said, honestly impressed. Thank you. I also think your major is very important, especially in this modern age of technology, Emily replied, making the atmosphere even friendlier. So, what are your hobbies, Emily? I asked, wanting to know more about her. I like reading books, especially detective novels. And you? She said. I like gaming and programming. Sometimes I read too, but mostly books about technology. I shared. That sounds great. Maybe one day I'll ask you to help me with some computer issues. Emily laughed. Of course. I'd be glad to. I answered, feeling lucky to meet such a kind person. Our conversation continued happily. Throughout the walk to school, we quickly became close friends. Without even realizing it, my earlier worries about the quiet, gloomy boarding house started to fade away with Emily by my side. Life here suddenly felt more interesting than I had ever imagined. After that day, I felt more and more comfortable here. Emily and I gradually grew closer. Sometimes she even asked me to come over to fix her computer. Every time I was eager and glad to help. The feeling of being needed, of helping a new friend, made life at this boarding house so much easier to bear. We talked often, went to school together, and sometimes even did homework side by side. 3 months passed in that way. Everything seemed perfectly normal, peaceful even. I grew used to the quiet of the building. I started to feel comfortable. Everything appeared smooth and ordinary, until one day, Emily asked me to come to her room to talk. She said she had just learned a small psychology trick, and wanted me to try it out. I knocked on her door. She opened it with a radiant smile. Come in, she said warmly. Hi Emily, I'm here. What kind of experiment do you want to try? I asked, sitting in the chair across from her. It's just a little trick I learned in psychology class. I want to test if it really works. Emily replied, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Sounds fun. What do you want me to do? I asked, curious. First, close your eyes and relax. Imagine a place where you feel the safest, the most comfortable, she said, her voice soft and soothing. I did as she asked. I closed my eyes and imagined myself on a quiet beach, waves rolling gently, cool breezes brushing past me. The relaxation spread slowly throughout my body. Good. Now open your eyes and tell me about it, Emily requested. I was on the beach, waves crashing softly, breezes blowing through. I felt calm and peaceful. I described. That's wonderful. I think this trick can help you relax whenever you feel stressed, Emily said cheerfully. Yes, I do feel much better. Thank you, Emily. I smiled. No problem. I'm just glad I could help, she replied, her smile never fading. We continued chatting, laughing. The room filled with warmth and joy. I felt so happy to have a friend like Emily. Then suddenly I remembered something. Emily, can I ask you something? Of course. What is it? She answered curiously. Don't you think it's strange? The boarding house is so empty. Most days it feels like only the two of us are here. Isn't that odd? I asked, suspicion in my voice. Emily suddenly pressed her hand against my mouth, her eyes full of worry. Be careful. It's not as quiet as you think, she whispered, her voice laced with warning. Her words made me shiver. Something was wrong here. My sense of safety shattered, replaced by invisible fear that crept into my chest. I looked at Emily, nervous and unsettled. Why? Everything I see seems normal. Emily glanced around, quickly shut the windows, checked carefully that no one was nearby. Then she leaned close. If you're living here, you must be careful of the landlady. I'm not entirely sure, but I saw her go into someone's room, near mine. After that, months passed, and that person never came out again. Weeks later, a new tenant arrived. He noticed a terrible stench coming from somewhere. He tried to find it and went to tell the landlady. I listened intently, unease growing inside me. What happened then? Asked. Emily's voice trembled as she continued. That tenant discovered the smell came from one room. He knocked, shouted, then called Edith. She came, unlocked the door. I was curious too, so I went to look. Her eyes flickered with fear as she recalled memory. My God. Inside was a corpse, half rotten, the floor covered in black decay, swarming with maggots. It was revolting. A chill ran down my spine. What happened after that? Asked. Emily took a deep breath, trying to calm herself. The man was old. Everyone assumed he died of age. No one thought otherwise. Edith hired someone to clean it up, but I felt something wasn't right. Her words left me disturbed. Friendly, smiling Edith, the landlady, connected to something so horrific. I'll be careful, you're right. But are you really sure she's involved? I asked, still doubtful. Emily shook her head. I'm not certain, but my instincts say something is wrong. We must be cautious. After that chilling talk, we switched to lighter subjects, trying to laugh to shake off the fear. She told me funny stories from class, childhood memories. I laughed along, but my heart stayed restless. As we talked, I kept feeling like someone was watching us. I turned toward the door, but saw only darkness. I brushed it off and kept chatting. Emily was cheerful, charming. Her energy made me feel safe, even drawn to her. But my fatal mistake was not thinking carefully about Edith, about what Emily had said. That day, Edith had overheard our entire conversation, every word, perhaps already planning something worse. That night passed normally. I returned to my room, lay down, and quickly fell asleep. I didn't know that the real nightmare was just beginning. In my dream, I saw flashes, a dark room, the silhouette of a woman, a knife in her hand, her eyes cold and her smile terrifying. It was Edith. I tried to wake up, but it felt like something held me down. Sweat poured down my face, my heart racing. The next morning I woke uneasy. Memories of Emily's warning haunted me. I feared Edith had overheard us. I texted Emily. I think Edith heard us last night. We need to leave this place. Immediately. Emily replied instantly. Really? Are you sure? Yes. I'm very worried. We must leave today. Can you pack quickly? I typed. Emily agreed. Today is Sunday. We can leave right away. I'll pack and meet you after. I started packing in a rush, but there was more to pack than I thought. Time slipped away. Night fell. I realized we could not leave that day. I texted Emily again. We'll have to stay one more night. I couldn't finish in time. Emily's reply carried her worry. Alright, but please be careful. I'll be ready to go tomorrow morning. I was exhausted from packing and fell asleep early. But in the middle of the night, I woke up, needing to use the bathroom. The door creaked open silently. On impulse, I wanted to check on Emily, to see her sleeping peacefully. I pushed her door open carefully. What I saw froze my blood. Edith was inside. She had killed Emily. Her body lay sprawled, chest torn open. Edith was ripping her apart, piece by piece, like a monster in human form. She lifted Emily's still beating heart, licking the blood dripping from it, groaning as if in perverse satisfaction. My heart pounded violently. Terror consumed me. If I rushed in now, I'd die like Emily. If I stayed, she would come for me next. I backed away slowly, silently. My only thought, survive. I slipped back toward my room, but her footsteps thundered behind me. She was coming. I ducked into a closet near the bathroom. Heart hammering, body shaking. The footsteps stopped outside, right in front of me. I held my breath. She opened the door. I was dead. The latch clicked. The door began to open. I exploded outward, kicking her with all my strength. Her body was unnaturally solid, like a grown man's. But I didn't stop to think. I just ran. She snatched up her knife and chased me. I grabbed my phone as I ran, dialing 911, my panicked voice spilling out. Please help me. Someone is trying to kill me. Stay calm. What's your location? The operator asked. I'm at boarding house 32 Elm Street. The landlady. She killed my friend. She's chasing me now. I screamed, breath ragged. Okay. Stay safe. Hide if you can. Police are on the way. Can you lock yourself in a room? No. She's right behind me. Please hurry. I burst outside into the night, lungs burning. Edith's shadow loomed closer and closer, her knife glinting in the streetlights. Please, faster. I can't hold on. I sobbed into the phone. Stay strong. Police are almost there. Don't give up, the operator urged. I sprinted down an empty street. Dim streetlights gave no comfort. Her footsteps grew nearer, nearer. I knew one stumble would mean death, but I kept running, desperate to live. Suddenly, she hurled her knife, struck deep into my shoulder. Pain exploded through me. I ripped it out, teeth clenched, and kept running. She pulled out a longer blade. I spun, hurled the knife back at her. It drove straight into her face, embedding in her skull. But the horror was she didn't fall. She kept running, chasing me, as if nothing had happened. This isn't human, I whispered in terror. At last, the sound of sirens. Police cars approaching. Hope flickered in me, but Edith realized she had little time. She lunged, her blade stabbing straight through my stomach. Collapsed, blood flooding out. Agony tore through me as she stabbed again, twisting the steel inside me. My vision blurred, my strength drained away. Sirens wheeled closer. Too late. The last thing I saw was her ripping the blade free, my own intestines spilling grotesquely out. Then darkness claimed me. When I opened my eyes again, I was in a hospital bed. Bandages wrapped my torso. Pain stabbed with every breath. The doctor came, shocked that I had woken. He told me I had been in a vegetative state for over 4 months. My family had nearly given up. They had sacrificed everything to keep me alive. Tears welled in my eyes. I asked about Edith. The doctor said police had tracked her down, but she was not truly human. She had hidden for 15 years after killing 15 people. A cold-blooded predator in human skin. Finally, the police had caught her. Relief washed over me. Edith was gone. The doctor left. I lay back, closing my eyes. For the first time there was no pain. Only silence. Only sleep.